Yes, sir. Hey, Shalom, Markel, Shalom. Make sure y'all bros can hear me. Can y'all hear me on here? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hey, man, first and foremost, I want to say call halal Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kwadash. I want to send double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. We send much peace, love, and salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Ariala, and this is just kind of a response video to the video that Bishop Nathaniel was on. He went on Comedy Hype in responding to their Barclays Blitz that they had, and it's leading to really good conversation amongst people. It's bringing up some things that that we, here at Great Millstone, we take this truth from the perspective of the school of the prophets, and it's a different perspective. That a lot of these guys are about enterprise, about building in a way that the scriptures really don't say, and but we know that all things are for the good. We know that all of this is going to produce what Yahweh Shem Yahweh wants. There's so many different points within this video. It's a 30-minute video. There's so many different points that can be pulled out, and I'm pretty sure brothers are going to completely dissect this and do individual lessons. But I just wanted to highlight one point today, this morning, and it's basically this small section on getting the mindset of Jake as far as leaving America. And I can't remember the name of this one comedian that's going to be pulled up. Oh man, I remember seeing him on all types of comedy specials before, and he was very funny to me. But I can't think of his name. But he makes a point that just kind of proves that we're the Israelites even more, because it's the same mindset that our people have had when we exited Egypt. And I think a lot of times we take this small cross section of the time where we were in hardcore bondage in Egypt, and we don't realize that over the course of 430 years, we had been amalgamated into Egyptian culture and indoctrinated into Egyptian culture, a large bulk of our people. And so you had people that were on all types of levels. Pierre, yeah, the water. Yeah, I mean he goes way back. But I'm gonna play this section, and man, I know y'all bros are gonna go in, so I'll be paying attention to the comment boards and the scriptures that y'all post. And then I got a couple of scriptures pulled up. The brother GMS South Carolina said Shalom Zaquan. Yeah, this video annoyed me on some level when that guy stood up and started asking questions. He loves Babylon, but and I saw Nathaniel trying to figure out how to approach those questions. But that's how Jake think, man. Jake is really simple. Jake is really simple, and that's a whole nother section. I'm not going to even highlight that one, because when he got up and started asking questions, really the deeper answer was is that the Most High just wants the elect. The Most High just wants the elect. He don't want somebody that's looking to, completely ball out here. And we're not looking to attract people to come into this truth because they have a hope of balling out here and stuff. Like, no, Most High is looking for the people who's down. The scriptures talk about the seed that was cast upon good ground, stony ground, thorns, and that was just by the wayside. And you could tell that he was the type of person that's stony or thorny ground. It's not a person that the seed was meant for to flourish in. He wasn't that good ground. So, but I want to talk about this one other section right here, and for all of us to come and get on the comment board and have a conversation about this. I got a few scriptures and kind of mindset scriptures that I pulled up, and then I'll be paying attention to the comment board and see what y'all bros got. All right, let's check this part out.
Being that America doesn't seem to have been created or isn't a place that is well for Black people, why do you think we continue to stay, live here, build business here, as opposed to leaving and going somewhere else or creating our own?
Well, the creating our own makes more sense. We are. I know people go, whatever. We are removed from slavery, feeling inside of us like the real slave. You were born in Chicago, you live in the house, all that. You're not a slave from back then. So our mentality is not connected like slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We may have a different kind of way of thinking of slaves. We're entrenched here, and why should I leave? No, you should treat me better, or like you said, which I believe in more, we should come together. Hello, people, come together and support, build homes and stuff that makes Black communities, do more of that kind of stuff. But I'm not leaving. I got Mercedes here, man. I ain't leaving. You crazy? I know all I know, man.
You see that mindset? I'm not leaving here. I got a Mercedes here. And he made so many statements that we see how our people are so misguided in their mindset because they don't have any reference point. Because he doesn't have a reference point from the forefathers, he doesn't have any place to really have a thought process that looks towards the nation first. You want to come together, but you don't have any type of standard or reference point to go to bring the people together. It just sounds good. And now you're speaking about trusting in oppression. The scriptures talk about that. Isaiah 30:12 says, wherefore thus says the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. So he wants to stay thereon in the place that's destroying us. Just like the brother had posted, the kingdom is within, Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. A place that's completely kept us, relegated to being called Black, niggas, spics, Latinos. You know that the institutions of this world trend towards keeping you at the bottom, whether you want to talk about housing, whether you want to talk about financial markets, whether you want to talk about the prison industrial complex, even when you want to talk about the military industrial complex. If you get up in there, what you like, politics, whatever lane, this place, the new Egypt, is oppression for your people. So the mindset is, I got a Mercedes here, is silly. That's why it says in verse 13, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Okay, we're going to constantly be having upheavals in this place, and when we want to go back and look, and let's just take a quick little historical perspective and relate our captivity here to the captivity that we had in Egypt. Okay, when you go to Exodus 1, I'm going to touch on a couple of things here, and then I'm going to get some of the comments off the board. Exodus chapter 1, verse 7, it says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. So up until this point, Israel was growing, doing good in Egypt amongst that empire of the time, until a new king arose. It said, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass, when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Right? Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field and all service wherein they made them serve with rigor. Now, this is nothing new. This has been going on since we came into hardcore slavery, served and built, and then you so-called Negroes, Latinos are still serving this captivity with rigor. You work 10-hour, 12-hour jobs. You men. You drive the buses, you lift up all the concrete, you lay down the roads. You Negro women, you work in their courthouses, you make sure everybody's signed in, you stay late. You're the nurses. All you Latin and black women are pretty much all the nurses. You stay up late at the hospital, making sure everybody's tended to. You're in the cafeteria, making sure everybody eat when you hungry than a hoe. You don't have a good ass pension. A few of you have gotten through the cracks. Negroes here in America ain't balling out. The so-called white man is at the bistro at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, chilling, signing contracts from his phone. You are at the job. Now, are you serving the same type of rigor as we did in cotton, corn, tobacco, slavery? No. But as far as what we see in this modern society, your ass is at work. You at work. You sick, you through. Okay? You gotta, and what happens is that we see a couple of Negroes on TV, and then they're blasted across. You take a few thousand Negroes on TV, and you forget about the millions that are just at work all goddamn day, every day. You've been serving and making sure that this place called America is fun for the other nations. It's fun for the so-called white man. All right, you get a couple of days off during the year. They did that in captivity. In hardcore slavery, they let the slaves have a little day off every now and then too. Let them eat cake. Here's some honeycomb. But for the most part, you and this mother working. Same thing back here in Egypt. All right. Now, when you go back and you read in Exodus 12, and you read verse 40, it says, "Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that the host of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt." So we was over in Egypt 430 years roundabout, right? It's a long time. It's a pretty good amount of time. Okay? So we served and we built and we grinded. We had people on all types of different levels. Okay? When you want to look at Moses, when he came on the scene, he stayed in the Pharaoh's house, right? He was an Israelite. Okay? He had a Mercedes, so to speak, like him, right? He was living good. Moses was. But did Moses say, "Oh man, we need to get past that. We need to figure it out how to make how for us to be treated better here"? No. He went through the process of what the Lord said, "Let my people go," and trusted that the Most High was going to provide whatever provisions and whatever we needed to get the hell up out of here. But it takes obedience first. And that's always been our problem. Our problem is that we're not obedient to the commandments. We weren't obedient to the ways of the Heavenly Father. And it distracts us from the purpose and unity, which Nate was kind of alluding to. He was talking about during this. And even the one sister, the one girl, the light-skinned girl, she was like, "Man, we can't go nowhere. We ain't got nothing. We don't have anything to. We don't have no foundation. Our families are jacked up," and she was right about that. But the mindset of just getting the hell up out of here should be the mindset of all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, truly. But really, the Most High is only dealing with the elect, right? This is the book of Psalms 89 and 30. It says, if his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandment, then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquities with stripes. Okay? Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. Okay? And that's what we're waiting on, bro. That's what we're waiting on. All right. But our people have this fear of leaving the dainties and leaving the goodness of America. Right? Psalm chapter 62, verse 8 says, trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. Surely men of low degree of vanity and men of high degree are a lie to be laid in the balance. They are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. And this is what we saw with the one guy that the brother had mentioned. At the end on the mic, he was just all he could think about was riches, and that's what would attract me. That's what I want. I want a Ferrari, a Lambo. Well, we want something even better than that, cuz scriptures talk about chariots. You need to get on that level. Okay? It's time for us to move in faith. But these guys are moving in a mindset of lack and doubt. Okay? Now, when you go to Numbers 1, and this is the main reason why when the Lord looks down, he be ready to pimp slap us, man, because he be tired of the way we act. And the same thing that he's talking about in this video is the same thing that whenever the Lord provided a way for the nation of Israel to leave from Egypt and to go establish their own land, as prophesied, our people did what? They complained. Numbers 11:1 says, and when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burned among them. And the mixed multitude was among them, and the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, and the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. So in the same likeness, our people are remembering what they had in Egypt, just like he thinking about his Mercedes and his situation and status and his little house in Chicago here in Babylon the Great, which is America. The same type of complaint, the same type of mindset that angers the Heavenly Father. This is why 2/3 of our people, like Nate had mentioned, can't go on this trip. And this is why in the wilderness, they walked around for 40 years until that generation perished, because the Most High was tired of their complaining ass. He looking for people that are full of trust. He looking for people that are full of faith and obedience. All right? A new generation that's ready to listen and hearken and trust in his name. Okay? That's why the Most High is only looking for the elect. He ain't looking for everybody. Moses had a different type of character. When you read in Hebrews 11:23, it says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Do you understand? So we have to be moved like Moses with faith during these times. That whatever provisions, houses, clothes, car, whatever it is going to be taken care of, man. But we have to move in one consent underneath the Lord, right? Right? Pull this up. Where I have it at? There it is. Proverbs 14 and 26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. You see? Not be moving like this dude, you know?
Anytime that thing to Africa, and I've been to Africa. Let me be honest with you, them Africans ain't too happy to see us like you think they are. You know, they seen the bullshit we going through and how we think and stuff. We don't think like Africans like they do, so that ain't happening. So
Kiana, let me bring you in and propose that same.
You know, and then Kiana went in on something else. But I was looking at that. I was like, bro, that's not that proves even more that we're the Israelites. The brothers going in on the comment board. Let's go chat. Let's see. Let me get some of these. Remnant save. Hey, Shalom Elder. Ecclesiastes 4:1. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. That's right. But now that time has changed since the Lord was sacrificing the cross. We do have a solution and a way out of this situation. Okay? But when you look at the powers that be, it's like, man, they got it all. What are we going to do? We can't do nothing. Okay? Let's see. That's right. GMS Virgin Islands, Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which depart from the Lord our power. That's exactly right, man. Our people are here in this captivity. You know, there's this image that we just live in some grandiose lives over here in America. No, we ain't. No, we ain't. Jake be dying at age 53 over here, bro. Heart disease, sick in a hole, running from the cops, scared when you get pulled over, living paycheck to paycheck. It's a stress-filled life. Families are broken. And like I said, you spend all your day at work. And then you spend the extra little days that you have cleaning your house up, little bullshit ass house you got. Okay? And arguing with your woman if you have one. All right? You ain't living no good ass life. You living a life at work. In the most abundant country in the world, your ass is at work struggling. 8 times out of 10. Okay? A lot more, man, some of these people that live in these other countries that's just living off the land and not worried about some of the stuff that we be, they're happier. They live longer. Because they're not worried about the bullshit, things that Americans be worried about. I'm serious, bro. Jake has an illusion that they got it good. Right? Deuteronomy 32:15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxed fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. And that's the problem with our people. You got people that get a few little dainties here, and they want to stay forever. Through. Right? Absolutely finished. Boom. The kingdom is within. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power of thy God, and I will forget thy children. Sure enough, man, when we listen to our people on these shows, now that it's back in like a mainstream talk, we realize how absolutely through our people are. Being an Israelite is simply barbershop talk, salon talk, something that you see on the TikTok and you scroll past real quick. But the substance of actually getting this word and this knowledge, our people don't have, man. Our people truly think that they're going to just enterprise their way out of this captivity. We would have already gotten out if that was going to help. We need a higher power. We need a unified move. And you only gonna get that in the scriptures. Okay? That's it. All right? Let's see. That's right. Don't be like Lot's wife looking back. Boom. That's a good one. Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppression, choose none of his ways. That's right, man. You know? And so, yeah, I was looking at this and I was just like, well, look, this is just one section of this. There's multiple sections that, like I said, I'm sure you bros are going to be going into. I'm probably going to pick apart that last part where Nate is going back and forth with this guy. And he was being simple. Sheesh. Being very simple. And it touch on that too, man. But you know, I just wanted to touch in on this, man. Lord willing, to edify the water for those scriptures, man. And hey, man, we need to get out of here. And one of the things that the apostles always say is, we ain't worried about everybody. We only worried about the elect. And when you only worry about that, these people don't frustrate you because you realize they just not meant to get it. They not meant to get it. You know. So anyway, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you. Aki, I'm out there pushing the words and serving the truth. Shalom.